good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around this beautiful, beautiful world. Today I've got a very special guest for you. But just before I present her, for all of you who did not hear the news, I am closing my coaching program, which is specialized for TEDx speakers. And that's why today I can't wait to introduce you to Elaine Powell. Good morning, Elaine.
Good morning, Liliana. Good morning, those who's watching, whether you're up early or it's late in the afternoon because you're in the UK.
Yeah, there will be people all around the world. Before I jump on our conversation, I would love to introduce you because you're so amazing. Elaine Powell, for all of you, is the thought disruptor who teach leaders and executives on a very special think methodology, which is supporting them to elevate your workforce performance. So Elaine spoken at more than 200 stages. She ran more than 600 workshops. It's absolutely impressive. She trained more than 35,000 people from around the world. And she is a former TEDx curator in London and helped more than 60 speakers at that TEDx London event as a TEDx curator back in the days. As for more than a decade now, you have been working with speakers and thought leaders and C-level executives and all management, high management levels, and those who want also to become TEDx speakers. And that is the reason why I have you on that show. And I so can't thank you enough to come and joining me today. Because for all of you, before I jump and have the conversation with Elaine, if you have any kind of questions, put them in the comment, put a hashtag live if you're watching it live, put hashtag replay if you're watching it on a replay. And if you have any kind of questions, put them for Elaine here, because I've got my own questions. And the reason why I've got Elaine here, as she's an amazing friend of mine, but also because I know that some of you want to become TEDx speaker and you put your goal for 2023 to become a TEDx speaker. So I can't help you anymore. Sorry, guys, I'm moving on to completely different things. But what I want you to keep dreaming and also take action, not just keep dreaming to become TEDx speaker, but also take an action and do those steps. And Elaine is your person now. She's gonna absolutely help you to become a TEDx speaker. Speaking of that, I'm gonna jump straight away on my first question. What is the biggest challenge for the people who wants to become TEDx speaker when they start their journey? What is their challenge?
Yeah, I'd say there's many challenges, and I think it's okay that we have challenges because that means we're coming outside our comfort zone. If it was too easy, then everybody would be doing it and it wouldn't be as prestigious to speak on a TED and a TEDx stage. I think the first thing we always have to deal with, and that's why I'm coined the thought or the think thought disruptor, hello Alan, is our thinking, the belief. First of all, am I worthy enough? Can I do it? And I think it's a normal human being trait. Is it good enough? Am I good enough? I remember hearing an interview that Oprah did, and she said of all the people that she's interviewed, so obviously the big leaders and the thought leaders in the world, at the end of the interview, they always turned around and said, was that good enough? Was that okay? So I think we have this innate thing inside of us of, am I good enough? Am I okay? And you've got to answer that for yourself and say, of course. I truly believe if the inkling comes up, if you have a calling, your job is to answer the phone, and it's there for a reason. So it is about trust. It's hard for people to trust you if you don't trust yourself. So I think, first of all, one of the biggest challenges is ourselves. We are the problem, but guess what? You are the solution as well. So start believing, take one step at a time. That's all it takes. One small step, and eventually you'll take that big giant leap. So that's the first one. I don't know. I'm always going to stop like a little bit of soundbite in case you want to jump in, and then I can share other ones.
Go on. I'm checking out the comments for all of you guys. If you want to ask any kind of questions, I'm monitoring, so I'm going to put your questions straight away on that one. But I love what you said. Like, even the people we would never guess that they're like, was that good enough? They also ask those questions. So why wouldn't we as well? Have those doubts? But just do it.
Yeah, I think the difference is, do you talk yourself out of something, or do you just take a nice deep breath and trust and surrender that all will be well and just go for it? So I think, yeah, I say continually work on yourself. That development, spending time doing personal development courses, being coached by people, reading books. After time, it just mounts up, and you get to clear out all the stuff you're carrying, so you can just be really free. And I think that's one of the benefits of being a speaker, is that you continually develop yourself so you can get out of your way, because your message is for the audience. Your idea is for the audience. It's not really for you. You've been given this absolutely amazing gift. All of us have gifts, different gifts. And so we have to get out of our own way. So definitely have belief that once you start on this route, you won't be doing it by yourself. Nobody has ever got to the end of their journey and thought, yes, I've done it all by myself. No. People will be there to support you. So definitely belief. The second one that we'll jump into even more is obviously the idea. What is that one idea? I know, Biliana, you've coached lots and lots of people as well around TED and TEDx. And I think one of the challenges is we can have so many ideas. Like, which one?
That's always comes here. And Connie, you're watching it. You're one of those people as well. As Connie has been on one of my coaching programs. She did exactly what you just said. It's a challenge, like which one to put in the TEDx. Good morning, Connie in Maryland, and Alan. Just before we continue with Elaine, Alan, good afternoon. Let us know where you're watching it from, but also let us know if you did a TEDx talk, and if you did not, what will be your topic to speak on TEDx? As we're talking, like one of the challenges, like which one to choose from. That would be great to hear from you, Alan. What will be your topic, or what was your topic, depending where you are on the TEDx journey?
Yeah, so welcome to those watching, and if you comment, then at least we can see who you are, Connie and Alan. So I would say the idea is one of the most challenging things. It was interesting for me because obviously I run programs and I coach people to either they've come with their idea, or we kind of dig deep and find what is that idea worth spreading. And then I've coached people who have been invited to speak on a TEDx stage, but they were leading more with the story and they didn't really have the idea. And so I've had to work with both people in my program who take time to, it's like, I'm going to compare it to chicken. I don't know. I'm a Caribbean, and we have a dish called stew chicken. Now, you can just put spices on the chicken on the day and cook it, and it will taste great. But when you marinate a chicken overnight with all the spices, the taste is even better. We do it with our rum Christmas cake. We put rum in fruits and we marinate it for like 3-4 months. And then we make the cake. It tastes very different from a cake that we've just made. So I found that there's a difference between people who have an idea that they've been working through over time. It has layers to it. It's like an onion. they've got stories and examples and the aha moments compared with someone who's just come up with, oh, let me take this idea and run with it. It's a different ball game. So
Wow.
I would say with your idea, I believe that it's already inside of you. You've most been working on it. It's a question that people ask you all the time. It's something that you're thinking outside the box, that other people don't think that way. But it's definitely something that either is going to benefit your community or it's going to benefit us globally.
I love that.
Yeah. I'll stop.
Yeah, I will stop you for a second. Ilana is saying that she's watching from Germany. Good afternoon to Germany. I was just checking my clock right now. My future talk will be, can dolphins read our minds? I love that topic. As you know, Ilana, it's just absolutely amazing. And Connie, I'll miss your encouragement. Yes, I know I'll miss you guys as well. But hey, you've got amazing persons over this way. I'm always switching to different cameras. Amazing, Elaine. So yes, please do reach her. Okay, any other challenges you think that you've seen and it's like, you know what, guys, you should worry. Yes, you should worry about it, so don't worry, just do it style, because I've got another question.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's always challenges for TED and TEDx. Where do we find the TEDx talks? How long is it going to take of my time? There's always challenges, but I think those two are the biggest. And we could talk on the idea for the next hour or 2 hours, because it's, you want to find an idea that's original in essence, that if I go online, it's not just everywhere. I think when I hear an idea, it's the difference between me going, oh my gosh, whoa, versus meh. Yeah. I've heard that before. If I go on YouTube and I Google it, how many talks are talking about fear of failure, or having an extraordinary mindset, don't give up. TED is not about inspiration. There's other stages for that. They want something that's very original, and it's a solution to a problem that a lot of other people haven't come up with. So look, the idea, it takes time, but know that you have an idea inside of you, but just as sometimes you're a bit too close to it. We say that if you're in the picture, you can't see the frame.
Yeah.
So that's why people have coaches, because all high performers have coaches. I have a coach. Serena Williams has a coach. We have personal training coaches, because they see things, they hear things with their expertise that we cannot see and we cannot hear. So whether you hire a coach or you have somebody you really trust, their opinion, get feedback and talk about it, because then people can hear it. Anyway, I know we've got other questions and time is ticking.
Yes, absolutely. I honestly, I can. The two of us can speak for hours, and we do that for sure. Okay, let's start from the beginning. The beginning of the whole TEDx journey is the application process. Let's talk about mistakes you've seen people make when they start the application process and they do their TEDx application.
Yeah, I'm just going to start with the big one. Are you waiting? What's the big one? It is called TED, Ideas Worth Spreading. It's not called TED, Stories Worth Spreading. So a lot of times people will lead with the story. And I mean, it's okay to in the application that you can lead with a story, but don't make the whole application just about the story. And myself, as a former curator, I'm really having to get the magnifying glass to go, what's the idea though? Because you want to think of your idea is the main actor in your play, and the story is a supporting role to back up the main actor, which is the idea. So I have a story, definitely, but don't make the story the main thing that's all that your application is about. So that's one. The second one is, once again, the main actor is the idea. It's not you. I'm sorry, it's not. I'm this, and I know people don't consciously, all right, some people will consciously lead with their ego. I'm amazing, I've done, okay, fine. But the majority of people aren't going to lead with their ego, but they're leading too much about themselves. And once again, it's the idea that needs to be the thing, the driving force, and everything you talk about keeps on pointing back to the idea.
Yeah. I love that. Alan is saying another book and a couple of courses to put online. Then we'll be chasing Elaine for my 2023 TEDx talk. Subject: an active life after retirement, like mine at 77.
Yeah.
Go for it. Please connect, all of you who is watching right now, do connect to each other. Alan, you're watching it from Facebook, but please go on LinkedIn, connect with Connie Inukai. She's the grandmapreneur.
Such a great title.
Yeah, and trust me, as a retired lady herself, she like every time I speak with her, is like, I don't know how you do all that, like where you get all this energy from, but Connie is amazing. So here you go.
And he's in a mobility scooter as well, and he's just still going full force. He's incredible force of nature.
Oh my God, amazing. Absolutely loving it. Okay. One question I often get, and at the beginning, because I started like specifically with coaching for TEDx speakers, I started 2 years ago. At the beginning, it was very difficult for me to answer that question, like, okay, what is my return on investment? Because TEDx talk takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, what we know. And it's not like, oh, let me just go on stage and I'm going to go there like next week and I've got 1 week to prepare. That's not the case. So people always ask, like, what's going to be my return on this investment if I want to go on that journey? How would you answer that one?
I can't quantify it. I think it's very similar to being a speaker. The benefits you get out of going through this rigor, and definitely a TEDx is a shorter span than someone who's been a professional speaker, who's developing themselves over years. With TEDx, it's usually within a year time frame. From the time you think about the idea, you apply, you get accepted, you write your script, and you deliver it on stage. It can be from 4 months to a year. So it's quashed and it's condensed in time in terms of how you actually deliver, how you actually develop. I mean, if I was to list off, your confidence raises up because you get to see that actually I do have something of value to share, and I do have a voice, and I'm going to make an impact. So immediately, well, I would say over time, your confidence grows, your self-esteem, your self-worth. You also get to really understand, what does it actually take to touch, move, and inspire an audience?
Yeah.
Who you have to become in order to be able to do that is something that you could just leverage for it's who you are, so that you will go on to do some amazing things, which I'll talk about afterwards in terms of some of the returns that people have had. But firstly, I just wanted to encourage people that time and that effort is not wasted. Whatever you're doing, whether it's a TEDx talk, whether you're starting your own business, it's the journey that counts. It's not always the end destination. Like the prize is a TEDx talk. That's great, but it's who you have to become in order to deliver at that level. That is priceless.
Yeah. Love
Yeah.
that.
So first and foremost, even if you never get to deliver one, don't worry, because the skills you'll learn, who you see yourself as someone who can lead people from the front of the room. Oh,
Yeah.
doors will open, and after that, and you'll be able to step into them because of who you're actually being. Because remember, who are you? You're a human being. It's not, so it's the being that's what creates the results. So that's one of my talks, by the way. So I can tell you love that one, Billiana. All right. So we have examples of other ways that people have got incredible returns on their investment. Now, they might be the exception to the rule, like Simon Sinek and Brené Brown. Before TEDx talks, who were they? Had we heard of them? No.
Exactly.
But it definitely catapulted their careers. Brené Brown, all she does now is write and speak, write and speak, write and speak, and that's all she actually does. Simon Sinek, obviously, he has a consultancy. He writes, he speaks. You can see there's a pattern there. When you get to a level of thought leadership, all you really need to do, or you feel called to do sometimes, is write and speak, and make a difference from that level. In terms of people I've worked with, opportunities, speaking engagements, paid. From the time you can say I'm a TEDx speaker, doors open. People start listening a bit more. They start paying attention. One of my clients, I'm not going to say his name just because, I haven't
Yeah.
asked. Yeah. But after his TEDx talk, and I actually did an interview with him, and he's the one that said it, I didn't say it. He said because of his working with me and his TEDx talk, he got two shows on BBC Radio. And one was a 10-part show, and he believes that was because of his TEDx talk. He got signed with Penguin Books for a book, and he's in conversation now with Netflix about his life that was spoken about regarding his idea in his TEDx talk. Now that is a ding, 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 ding,
I
ding.
love that. I would tell you what was for me, the strangest one out of nowhere, like, because when people listen to stories like this one, what you just said, Elaine, people are like, oh my God, that's never going to happen, to me, most probably that's not, that's not going to happen with me. I had a client as well, and one day he called me and he said, guess what just happened? I was like, okay, surprise me. He was like, yeah, you're going to be surprised. So he got a call out of nowhere saying that someone from the UK watched his TEDx talk. And the TEDx talk was about, he's a doctor, and the TEDx talk was about ADHD. The person invited him to become the director of their charity company, which is one of the biggest charity in the UK for ADHD. And they just call him to say, like, can we have an interview with you, because we want you to to manage the whole charity. And I was like, that definitely surprised me because of the TEDx talk. So you never know who is watching you guys. It's that powerful. And I constantly repeat to you, and I will keep repeating until end of this year, that when you become a TEDx speaker, you gain that authority pretty much automatically. People, as Elaine said, the doors open for you. People see you as there, as authority straight away, because you did a very high value, powerful TEDx talk. That is the power of being on stage and being in front of all these people. So we're almost running out of time. We've got 5 minutes left, but all of you watching, guys, if you have any questions for Elaine, just put them in the comments, because I'm gonna jump with one of my questions. What is the one piece of advice you wish someone would have told you about speaking?
Great question. Great question. It definitely ties into who you become. But what I think one of the main aims of speaking is to be of service. And there's two quotes that I love to remind myself of, because I have to continue to remind myself that it's not about me. It's not about me, because that's the human, survival. So we do think about ourselves, but service to many leads to greatness, and help enough people to get what they want, and in return, you'll get what you want. And that's the one of the great things about speaking is you're not just one to one, you're now one to many. You get to impact hundreds, if not thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people's lives, who then go on to make a difference in other people's lives. It's a powerful medium, and it has us be self-expressed. So I know I'm doing a few, because there's not just one piece of advice I'd give to people, but it helps us to get what's inside here out of a way, inside here and here, the heart space, so that we can touch other people's hearts. So the piece of advice I wish someone would give me, which was, do it early. I wish I'd started on this speaking journey years ago, and then I would have had more impact in the world. But I'm going to the US to speak on their stages. I'm upping my game as a speaker, and I'm being very aware of what I say to myself. Because I just wanted to say, Biliana, you said, people will say about opportunities, oh, it won't happen for me. Who am I? Well, no wonder things don't happen, because you're not being responsible for what you're saying into the world. So to say what you want to have, feel it. It really does happen, but you are the person that's going to make things happen by the way you think, your feelings, and your actions.
Yeah. Oh my God. I love that. Absolutely loving it. Okay. Is there anything else you would like to mention and I didn't ask you about? You just want to give it to all of you guys watching right now, and so to remember it from you.
Part of me is like, yes, I want to say this, but is this your last show, Biliana?
No, I think so. Today's 16th of December. How many weeks are left to the end of the year? I think like 2 or 3 weeks. So we've got 2 or 3 shows too.
Okay, I was going to give the last word to you because, actually I am, because I want to acknowledge you for the generosity you have, not only to me, but also on LinkedIn, and the knowledge that you've given people who have this aspiration to speak on TEDx stage. You are a giant, Biliana, and we've only started speaking in the past year, but I class you as a friend and someone who has such a big heart that I know whatever you're now going on to do, you're going to make a huge impact in that area as well. So I want to finish off with it's around service. You serve people, and people love you because of it. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I will do my last show on 30th of December, so please join me on 30th of September. 30th of December. 30th of December is Friday. So thank you so much. I really appreciate what you said. The best way to connect with Elaine is on LinkedIn, but what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to put in the comments also the links for LinkedIn, for Instagram, and for Facebook. So if you're watching it on Facebook or YouTube right now, you've got it in the comments. if you're watching it on LinkedIn, I'll put them in the comments right after the show, because somehow StreamYard does not talk to LinkedIn as comments, sadly. So I don't know what is there. Huge thank you for joining me today. Please stay in the green room for a second, just to wrap up, and I hope I'm gonna see you on 30th of December for the last one. Elaine, to all of you watching right now, thank you for joining me today on Friday. I know I received a lot of messages so far that, why I'm stopping the coaching program. And I appreciate all your thank you messages. I appreciate all of your messages. I'm going to miss you as well, but you're going to hear a lot more from you. So that's not the end of seeing me on the camera. That's not the end of the different podcasts. So keep an eye on my LinkedIn wall, because you're going to have a lot of news in the next several days and right after Christmas. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to see you next Friday, and I'm wishing you an amazing weekend ahead.